You went to go pitch your first deal and you failed. So now what? You walk away with no deal. You walk away with your head hung lower than your shoulders and your tail tucked between your legs. What is next? And believe it or not, there is some great news by the end of this video. So I don't want you to walk away and think, oh my God, it is all over. My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs with sales training and marketing. Before I get into it, as always, two things. Number one, there's a masterclass down below. Go check it out. It'll dramatically help your pricing with your MSP business. It comes with a pricing calculator, some training that you can go through. That way you don't lose money every single month. Or when you're going to pitch that client, you know confidently that you have a pretty healthy margin in there. That way, if you do mess something up, it's not going to cost you the shirt off of your back. Number two, come hang out with us in the Discord. It is a fantastic community. I genuinely mean that. I really do love that I get to be the catalyst for all of it and seeing people grow their business, close their first deals, everything in between, and even the 6- and 7-figure business owners that are in there that are veterans of the MSP world are getting to hang out, and it is really cool. So come hang out with us. Also, I'm traveling right now. I have nothing with me other than my camera and a light, and I'll show you kind of what this looks like here. But it's a pretty rough. I got a work box here that we're just rocking with, and that's what we're going off of because making content for you guys is the most important thing for me. So let's talk about you lost the first deal. You went up to bat. You were all super psyched about it. You were ready to go, dialed in. You had your numbers. You knew what you were doing. But at the end of the day, you walked away without the sale. You walked away without the John Hancock, the signature that says, we are going to give you money every month. So what does that actually look like? Well, first, I want to say congratulations. I really mean that because you have taken a massive leap compared to most of any of your soon-to-be competitors. And what I mean by that soon-to-be is most people don't even make it as far as getting to the first sale, and you did. So first of all, pat yourself on the back. I genuinely mean that. The confidence that you took to get up there, to go speak to them, to consult them, see what their needs are, see where you could really help their business grow. It's tremendous. I really do mean that. It is not easy. Your first sale is undoubtedly the hardest thing that you're going to go through, bar none. It really is because it takes so much. You're mentally exhausted. You've been prepping for that the whole time. You have everything dialed in and you're probably shaking in your boots, or at least I remember I was when I first had my first sale, and you're terrified because you don't really know if you're going to get the deal or not get the deal. And heck, some of you guys are probably watching this video like, Harrison, I closed my first deal. I'm on to the next one. And honestly, you're a rock star. But that's not the case for everybody. Even if you didn't mess anything up, there's plenty of circumstances that come up where you want to go in and there's either an incumbent in there already, they're already working with a provider, or they didn't fully understand the services that you provided for the business. And because of that, you were super excited to get a monthly deal, and they're just telling you, hey, we're going to call you for break fix, and that is probably it. It is a little bit disheartening, but there is a bright side to it. There's a lot that you can learn from your first sale, and there comes to be a breakdown, and it's going to be unique to every individual. But I'm going to give you my personal cliff notes of what I think the first failed sale really means. First, there's a really good book that's called Go for No, and it's all about getting to the no as fast as possible because the more no's you get means the more yeses you're going to get. Weirdly enough, there is a real correlation there. The more people that decline you just means there's more people that are interested in your services, which is really cool. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but your no is not as bad as you actually think it is. The hard part is dealing with the emotions that follow, bar none. But going for no and getting that no, there's plenty of other people out there that would love to put money in your pocket every single month. So that's number one, right off the bat, is understanding that. Number two, is it something to learn? At times, you are going to deal with rejection in business. I'd be lying to you if I said that that is not the case. It's just a matter of fact. It doesn't matter how much prepping you do. Sometimes people just aren't interested. You might want a Lamborghini, and I want you to want a Lamborghini, and I want you to own a Lamborghini with how fast your MSP grows. But there is a time when it just doesn't make sense, whether that's financially, in your lifestyle, whatever it might actually be. And that's a part of why people don't buy it, right? Yes, there's obviously a cost associated with that, but just because you're ready and you think that they need your services doesn't always mean that client is ready for your services. So going back and hanging your head, it stinks. But here's the benefit of all of this: there is always a bright side to all of it. You're learning, you're getting out there, and the more times you can go at bat, the better chances you're going to have at closing new deals. Using that price calculator down below only instills more confidence in you to actually go through and say, hey, when somebody is actually interested, I know my numbers. My numbers are good. My numbers are fair. My numbers are solid. And my numbers provide enough for us to have a growing business and for me to even take home a nice little paycheck, which is something that most MSP business owners never plan on day one. So there is a benefit to that. The second benefit to that is also you are a sponge. You're learning, you're seeing, you're understanding. For most MSP business owners, they rarely get to go into other people's businesses and see and experience and feel what's going on in their environment. They've probably worked for other MSPs, but when you transition over to the business owner and take that leap of faith, everything changes immediately, because it's no longer how many tickets can I close? It's how many tickets can I close? How do I perform the best for this customer? What package or what services can I provide that would best suit this business owner? And the more you get to experience all of those things all the time and soak up that information, the more success you're going to have in your business. It's just how it goes. Just because your first deal said no, heck, your second, third, or fourth, or fifth deal might say no. But there might be that 10th, 11th, and 12th time that you get up to bat and you do close it. And that close, that first customer, is so infinitely harder than getting the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth and so on and so forth. It is tremendous, but getting over that hill is easily the hardest thing. 0 in binary to 1 is the biggest difference that you can possibly have. And when you get up there and you're consistently striking out, and that's okay, it might happen for a little while, but when you close that first one, you're going to feel the success rush through your veins. And I genuinely mean that. I remember closing my first sale, and it was only a couple $100s a month for a monthly recurring contract. And you know what? I had felt like I conquered the world, because that reoccurring contract isn't just a couple $100s a month. It's several $1,000s a year. Is it going to move the needle for the most part? It will a little bit, but it's that first one. You feel like a champion. I remember getting in my car exhausted after that meeting, and I was over the moon. But immediately after figuring that out, I had to stop and think, what did I do right? What was different with this meeting where somebody said yes versus all of the other times where it hadn't moved, they didn't accept the proposal, it was too expensive? What actually changed? And that self-realization of going through it is what is going to make you successful. You have to really think about that. Where did you go right this time? Where did things line up for you? Because a lot of times too, it's not just the money, it's not your product, but a lot of times it's the customer. Is there a need or a want? Just like I mentioned with the Lamborghini. Is there enough of a need, enough of a want, and enough of a financial incentive for them to say yes? And when it is, it clicks over and becomes a success story for you. So when you're out there and you're going to go to your first sale, don't get bummed out about the first one. I know it's easier said than done. And I know that me saying it probably is like, yeah, obviously, Harrison, but it sucks. 100% it sucks. I have been there time and time and time again, but it's getting numb to the failures and bathing in the victories, which is going to get you further and further and further ahead in your business. That is really the secret sauce. You might get lucky and close it on day 1, and you might get lucky and close it on meeting 15. But as long as you keep going up there and getting it, because one contract, even if it's only $500 a month, is still $6,000 a year. Well, that might not sound like a lot. 10 clients is $60,000. 20 clients, do the math, $120,000. That is a pretty solid business built on small little businesses. And the nice part about that, and everybody wants the whale where they're going to get that 4, 5, 6, 10, $15,000 a month contract. But the worst thing is losing a big deal. If you have a lot of small deals that come through, they will add up and help you build the business. So some key takeaways that I can promise you are going to help is one, after you find out whether you won or lost, celebrate the victories, don't bathe in the losses, and figure out where you think it went wrong. And sometimes it's literally not your fault, but maybe it was the targeting of that client. And see and learn where you can succeed next time. And second of all, after you go through and do that, start to think about other areas in not only that you can improve on, but other businesses. Just because you lost it doesn't mean you can't say, hey, I would love to work with you guys. I know that, you guys are already working with somebody else, whether or not it didn't work out, totally fine. But is there somebody that you might be able to refer me to? Because I would love to work with businesses just like yours. Birds of a feather flock together. And just because they're not going to do business with you does not mean that they won't refer you to somebody else, because they might not be in the situation. They might be in the middle of a contract or just signed a new contract. That's totally fine. It doesn't mean that they don't have a friend who would love to work with you otherwise. I hope you guys found some value in this video. I hope that this is a nice little positive message and positive encouragement, because it's not as hard as you think it is. It's not as bad as you think it is, but going from that 0 to that 1 is super difficult. And after you close that first one, you're going to feel like $1,000,000, and the second and third and fourth ones are going to fall in line very quickly after that. Love you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. This is just me hanging out at my parents' house up on Long Island for a little while, but wanted to still make a video because I got to keep adding value. I love you guys. I appreciate that out of you guys. Come hang out with us in the Discord. Check out the masterclass. Get your pricing right. It is the biggest struggle I see in MSPs. Other than that, I'll see you guys later. Love you guys. Bye.